Myles Lewis-Skelly is undoubtedly one of the most promising talents right now, not only for Arsenal but in English football as a whole. So what's really the ceiling for him? Also, you'll understand why Thomas Tuchel criticised Mikel Arteta after England's win over Albania. Let's get started, because this is all the latest news about Arsenal Football Club on Now Arsenal. An Arsenal senior debut, scored on an England senior debut, a senior Champions League debut. A lot has happened for Myles Lewis-Skelly this season since the England fullback burst onto the scene. It's hard to think of another debut season that has gone so well for an Arsenal Academy product. You'd be forgiven for thinking that Mikel Arteta wouldn't have given Lewis-Skelly so many minutes at the start of his career, but the most incredible thing is that, despite having zero experience at this level, Myles is showing complete confidence on the ball and composure on the biggest stage. Both Declan Rice and Thomas Tuchel sang his praises after the England game, praising his incredible confidence. From an Arsenal perspective, it's heartening to see a teenager being praised for his character and temperament more than anything else. Often young players burst onto the scene with raw talent, but they usually need to hone key aspects of their game to become the complete package. With Lewis-Skelly, however, the best praise he can receive is for playing with maturity, and you can see that in his game. Predominantly a midfielder, he's converted to a left-back over the years and has been thrown into the deep end of an Arsenal team that has not been brimming with confidence, goals or even wins, and this has been the case for most of the 2024-25 season. Indeed, this has been an Arsenal side that has struggled with injuries and suspensions throughout the campaign, and Mikel Arteta, knowing all of this, still trusted the fullback who has played 50 minutes or more in 9 different games so far. Tuchel, knowing that the fullback had barely made 18 appearances for Arsenal, still trusted him with a full debut, and the gamble has paid off. What's important to know is that Lewis-Skelly has taken to Arsenal in England like a duck to water because he plays with utter fearlessness. The run forward for his England goal to latch on to the end of Jude Bellingham's assist, the celebration after scoring against Haaland. He knows he has to get forward at this level and he's not afraid to do so, even if it means making mistakes. It's even more important that Arsenal have fullbacks who can gallop forward, especially with recent injuries and the lack of quality in the final third due to the absence of the team's best attacking players, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Lewis-Skelly could also solve another of Arteta's recent problems, his lack of continuity up front. It seems as though Arsenal look great until the final third, but when they get there, they can't find the same gaps in the middle of the pitch as they used to. And with that in mind, Lewis-Skelly has played the inverted fullback role well, in the same vein as Zinchenko 2 seasons ago. The courage and quality he possesses as a player bleeds into his game, and in the modern game that is impossible to hide from the fans. It's just not his temperament, bruising aggression and maturity that have won him admirers and praise. No, tactically he is astute and wins a remarkable number of tackles. And if he didn't do all of that, would Mikel Arteta and Thomas Tuchel give him the minutes that they do? The excitement comes from the realisation that this is a player who sticks his neck out and is unfazed by pressure, environment or a big game. And with Arsenal due to take on Real Madrid in just over 2 weeks' time, the England fullback could be in line to face some of the world's best attackers. At the very least, you can make no mistake in trusting him. Lewis-Skelly wouldn't be afraid of the challenge. It's a testament to Arteta that, despite 2 red cards, Lewis-Skelly embodies the take no prisoners, no pushovers mentality that Arsenal have established in recent years. And with Lewis-Skelly on our minds, let's talk about another Arsenal player who performed brilliantly at Wembley the other day against Albania, Declan Rice. England manager Tuchel was pleased with the performances of both Lewis-Skelly and Rice, but was angry that Premier League clubs are putting their own interests first despite concerns over player workload. Tuchel, who took charge of the Three Lions earlier this year, acknowledges the pressure club managers face at a crucial time of the season. Having previously managed Borussia Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich and Chelsea, Tuchel is now experiencing the challenges of international management for the first time. While he once preferred his club players to avoid back-to-back internationals, now he finds himself on the other side of the debate. Speaking ahead of England's upcoming fixture, Tuchel suggested that clubs are looking after their own interests first, citing Arsenal's decision to select Rice for the Champions League second leg against PSV Eindhoven despite being 7-1 up on aggregate. After a 7-1 first leg and Rice played the next match with Arsenal, I didn't have the feeling that they think so much about us, Tuchel remarked. The German acknowledged the importance of communication between clubs and national teams, but insisted that England will make decisions based on what is best for them. We're very well aware that clubs are playing for championships and Champions League quarter-finals, but we have our own goals, Tuchel said. The players are keen to play, and it has to be like this. The England boss also emphasised that he will carefully manage player fitness, working closely with clubs to avoid unnecessary risks. However, he dismissed the notion of resting players simply to protect them for upcoming club matches. We monitor them, we are in contact with the clubs, and we won't take unprofessional risks, Tuchel assured. I don't want players to be injured. I want them to play their Champions League quarter-finals because I want to watch them. But in the end, we take care of us and the clubs take care of themselves. And on to the subject of what many Arsenal fans are looking forward to, the summer transfer window, and more specifically one of their main targets, Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi. Well, according to local paper Diario AS, Real Madrid are plotting to derail Arsenal's pursuit of the 26-year-old who continues to attract considerable interest. Zubimendi has long been on Arsenal's radar, with the Gunners eyeing him as a key solution to their midfield woes, especially with Thomas Partey and Jorginho both out of contract at the end of the season. Reports in January suggested that Arsenal were close to sealing a £51 million deal for the Spaniard, but their plans could now be in jeopardy. Real Madrid are reportedly keen to strengthen their Spanish core and have identified Zubimendi as a prime target. With La Liga regulations requiring clubs to have at least 8 homegrown players in their squad by the 2025-26 season, Zubimendi's arrival would help Madrid meet their quota while strengthening an already star-studded midfield. Arsenal have also been linked with a move for Newcastle United midfielder Bruno Guimaraes. The Gunners have long been admirers of the Brazilian and were linked with a move to him last summer. The 27-year-old has been instrumental for Newcastle since his £40 million move from Lyon in 2022 and recently signed a contract extension until 2028. However, Guimaraes reportedly has a release clause that allows him to leave for £60 million this summer should Newcastle fail to qualify for the Champions League. And with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to Now Arsenal and check more information on our media channels, the NowArsenal.com website, and our socials across Instagram, Twitter and Facebook you can find in the description below. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video when we bring you more news on Arsenal Football Club.